Welcome to my channel where Op calls his HOA ridiculous. Our next Reddit post is from a user. My HOA is ridiculous. I recently moved into a new apartment complex. It's nice and it has an HOA. When I signed the paperwork for the apartment, they gave me a list of rules from the HOA that I have to abide by. One of these rules was no basketballs or other sports balls in the street. The rule made sense, so I didn't think anything of it. Well, yesterday, my son and I were playing catch with a football in the street, and we were having a lot of fun until a neighbor came up behind me and told me that I was breaking the law. I asked what he was talking about, and he told me about the no ball sports rule. He said that if I get caught playing with a ball in the street again, he'll call the cops and have me arrested. I laughed at him and went back to throwing the football with my son. Later that evening, I got a letter in my mailbox that looked official, so I opened it. It was from the HOA and it was a warning about playing sports in the street and stated that if I did it again, I would be fined $100. I threw the letter in the trash without thinking much of it. This morning, I went outside to get the mail and there was a $500 fine on my door. Apparently, my neighbor called the HOA president and told him about me playing with my son last night. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was ridiculous that someone would go out of their way like this over a stupid rule. Threw the ticket in the trash and went back inside. A few hours later, the HOA president shows up at my door. He tells me that I need to pay the fine right then and there or I am gonna be fined another $100. I asked if he was serious, and he said yes. I told him that I wasn't paying the fine and he told me that I'd be hearing from a lawyer. I just laughed and closed the door. I looked online and found out that the HOA president and my neighbor are the same person. They're also the only two people on the HOA board. I also found out that the attorney that they threatened me with is their daughter. Their whole family is a law firm. How can these people be so petty? What's the worst part is that nobody else in the neighborhood seems to care about this stupid rule except for the HOA president and my neighbor. It seems like the entire HOA exists for this one rule. And I saw several comments saying it sounds like you live in the US. If you do, just ignore them unless they actually take you to court. And if they do, tell the judge that you'd like to know how many hours the judge spends every year dealing with HOA nonsense because it sounds like a waste of the court's time and taxpayers' money. A small price to pay for freedom. Also, you should start your own HOA. Make all the rules you've always wanted. Then when you move out, leave the new tenants a big stack of tickets to the things they're probably going to do, like maybe the new tenant likes to park their car in the driveway with the lawn slightly overgrown. That's a $250 violation. I want to make sure that my grass is cut perfectly straight across the property line. That's another $100. Oh, and if they have more than 2 pieces of patio furniture on their patio, that's an additional $75. Imagine how much money you could make. Anyways, I hope this story ends well. I really like the idea of starting a fake HOA. Our next Reddit post is from another user. My HOA is pretty chill overall, but there's one rule that everyone here hates. You can't put up Christmas lights before Thanksgiving. So last year, on the day after Thanksgiving, I went to put up my Christmas lights and I had almost finished decorating the front of my house and everything was looking good except for one thing. My power was out. I checked the box and sure enough, some jerk in the neighborhood had put in a service request to have my power disconnected because I had decorations up before Thanksgiving. By the time my power was restored, most of my inflatables had melted and I was very upset. I filed a complaint with the HOA demanding compensation for all my damaged inflatables. The HOA sided with the Karen and said that I should have turned off the power to those decorations and that I should be grateful that I didn't get fined for violating the rules. Long story short, I ended up suing the HOA and the Karen who complained about me. I won the case and I got the HOA to change that rule. That's all for this episode. And remember, if you like this content, you can check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, if you have a story you'd like to share, you can submit it through the link in the description.